welcome back to another video on Wrestling and another edition of Raw out of 10. And yeah, it's a big episode of Raw today because obviously we're building up to SummerSlam now. Mami's back in the show and you got the whole story of Liv in the Judgment Day, as well as much more. But we did start things off with that segment. Rhea Ripley kicked off the show by making her way to the squared circle amid an enormous pop and almost immediately found herself interrupted by Dom. Before the meek and timid villain completed his case for forgiveness for his mummy, Women's Champion Liv Morgan appeared on the screen, doing her best to taunt Ripley. All Morgan did was further infuriate her, leading to Ripley issuing a challenge for a match at SummerSlam. Morgan surprisingly accepted, admitting she wasn't going to run. The segment ended with Ripley vowing to end Morgan's career before haunting any attempt by Mysterio to smooth things over. It's a great start to the show that highlighted the top storyline on Monday night, put Ripley front and centre and continues to build tension between Mummy and Dom as the questions about their relationship and what's going to happen in future weeks continue to run wild. So yeah, a great start to Monday Night Raw. But the first match was a product of a backstage confrontation last week, ensuring Sheamus faced off with Bronson Reed, and a hard-hitting physical war between the Celtic Warrior and the Aussie concluded with Sheamus blasting Reed with a knee strike for the pinfall. It did not end there after the match, and Pete Dunne launched himself out of nowhere to thwart a Reed sneak attack. Following a brief tense encounter with his former Brawling Brutes teammate, the Bruiserweight attacked Sheamus from behind. Reed took advantage and stood tall to close things out. The match was strong, as should be expected from Sheamus and Reed at this point, and there was considerable intrigue in the story in the format, and Dunne telling right now a second consecutive strong segment. This gets 7 out of 10 from me. Really good story, and a good match to boot as well. So yeah, really liking where we're going, and the whole Dunne storyline is very interesting. I think as a heel with bait out, it's definitely the right thing to do and where he's best in my opinion. A backstage confrontation earlier in the show set up a Sonya Deville Zelina Vega match, and a short-lived contest saw Deville overwhelm Vega and score the win with a new finisher, the Deville's Advocate. After the match, the victor and new associates Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler teased a beatdown before Kaden Carter and Katana Chance made the save, kicking off another random trios feud involving former tag champions. This was an unnecessary squash for loss for Vega, who was undoubtedly the most over performer in this ordeal, but it kind of felt counterproductive and didn't really benefit anyone for me in this position, so I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. But yeah, moving on into the story of an undeserving champion versus a predestined one. Apparently that was not enough for WWE's Triple H and the creative team added another element, class warfare. Monday's face-to-face between Priest and Gunther introduced the idea of the ring general as a privileged competitor while painting the Archer of Infamy as someone who's had to climb there. It's a story that can be incredibly effective, but I don't really know if this kind of worked with the crowd. Are they willing to accept Priest as a babyface? Who knows? But we'll have to see. But I'm personally not convinced that'll work. But I'm going to give it a chance. Before the rivalry between Braun Strowman and Judgment Day rose its latest chapter as he faced off against the champion. El Campeon weathered an early storm as Strowman's furious onslaught capitalised on an injured knee and drove him to the mat with a South of Heaven for the clean victory. Strowman's perpetually over with audiences, so to hear the fans in Dayton and Rupp for Priest win is a promising development for the champion, as he prepares for one of the most important matches of his career. The long-term plan is clearly for him to break away from his Judgment Day faction and go alone as a babyface. That feels like a positive first step, and one that he and the creative team can build on. So yeah, I think that's a good move. It's a shame to see Braun getting beat clean here, because I'm such a big fan of him. I don't really should be, even if it's against the world champ. So yeah, on the whole, I'm going to give it 6 out of 10. We then got Kaden Carter and Katana Chance against Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler. Less than an hour after Chance and Carter came to the aid of Vega following her loss to Deville, the fun-loving duo battled Stark and Baszler in tag action. The heels isolated both opponents at different points, but a hot tag from Carter and Chance sparked Bayface comeback for the former champs. Deville attempted a distraction, but Valkyria pulled her off the apron, only to eat a big boot to the face from Stark. Action broke down and heels scored the victory as the newly formed trio continued to build momentum. The match was better than expected and the crowd was into it, but would have to have better if fans had any reason whatsoever to care about babyfaces beyond their fun, energetic in-ring performance. So on the whole, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. All Joey McIntyre then had to do on the Raw was get his suspension revoked, was to apologise for the referee. Instead he refused and the suspension remains intact. He was infuriated, saying the two referees that threatened Pierce before Seth Rollins clearing McIntyre out of the ring made the save and standing tall before joining the commentary team for a little post-save celebration. This felt like a placeholder segment that didn't really progress it in any meaningful way. Things stood exactly as they would, and the suspension will be officially lifted before the match will be announced. That is unless Punk is not medically clear and Rollins gets that spot instead, but it'll be interesting to see where it it goes. But yeah, just kind of felt like a week to follow the time. Still an interesting story in development, and yeah, I'm still very much into it and looking to see where it goes. We then got another Wyatt 6 VHS with Eric Rowan, the big man expressing raw emotion at the loss of Brody Lee and Bray Wyatt without naming them, and promised the Wyatt Six was use their broken hearts to create beautiful art. And yeah, it's a really nice segment. I like how they tie it into reality. I think that works really nicely. And yeah, I can't wait to see where it goes. Before it's time for Jey Uso versus Dominic Mysterio. Earlier in the night, Jey Uso asked if Ripley was single because he wanted to shoot his shot. Instead, he incurred the wrath of Dom, who got this match move. Dom was as focused as ever, looking to send a clear message to Rhea. As Uso fought back and rolled into the ring, he scaled into the ropes for the Uso splash, only for Morgan to appear and pull Mysterio out of harm's way. Hijinks ensued with Mysterio and Morgan ending up on top of each other until Ripley made her presence felt for the second time. Morgan scurried, Mysterio returned to the ring, and Uso put him away to secure the win to the dismay of the unhappy couple. It is in both wild and refreshing to see two women involved at the heart of the most prominent storyline on Raw. Like this or not, it's damn refreshing to see Ripley and Morgan shining bright on the flagship show, and more important in the Grand Slam and SummerSlam. I think this continues to build to it in a good way. So yeah, on the whole, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Having the juice at Bo Dallas is in fact Uncle Howdy, Chad Gable took to the squared circle to call him out. Dallas obliged and immediately fell prey to a sneak attack by the Creed brothers, who joined Gable in a 3-on-1 insult. Dallas laughed it off eventually, and the arena darkened and the Wyatt Six made their way to the ring as the heels, builders and leaders surrounded the ring. The signs appear to be pointed towards a match at SummerSlam between a six-man maybe with Gable and the Crows. There's an argument to be made against sacrificing the heels to the masked newcomers, but they will learn nothing in defeat. Most importantly, Gable and the Creeds give the Wyatt Six a chance of getting over, and I thought this was a quality segment, reinforcing Dallas and giving fans a glimpse of how difficult it is to get in top of them. Before it's time for the IC title match, Sami Zayn against Ilya Dragunov, and they were well on their way to a potentially great main event when Bron Breakker struck, bringing their physical battle to an unsatisfactory DQ conclusion before standing towards close the show. Breakker had claimed he would take out both men, and he did that. In the process, he created a scenario where Zayn may be defending the championship in a triple threat match. If that is the case, these are the fast worst guys to put in a card, and the match would be dang good, especially if this was an indication. Zayn and Dragunov would beat the hell out of each other and really earn a better finish, but given the story of the play, I think it's one that we kind of expected, and one that appears is going to keep the feud going. So at the same time, I'm not totally mad at it, and yeah, on the whole, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. And overall, Raw this week gets a 6 out of 10 from me. I thought, it was a really solid episode of Raw this week. Yeah, it's a brilliant match throughout the card. And the whole Ripley Morgan storyline is getting me into it. And yeah, interesting storylines even when it comes to like the Wyatt Six and Drew. In fact, no, I thought it was such a good episode of Raw, I'm going to upgrade it to a 7 out of 10. Right, so that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.